What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. As you guys can see, we've got the Audi RS3 8Y in front of us. This is the successor to the outgoing 8V. This is a beautiful car. I get a lot of questions of people asking me, is it worth upgrading from the 8V to the 8Y? So in this video, we're gonna find out. So let's start off with the exterior details, man. I mean, this car exterior wise is beautiful, immaculate. One thing I love about this car is the headlights. So on startup, as you guys will see here, I've got the keys in front of me, so you press the unlock button, as you can see, and it gives you this funny little dance. As you can see, the checkered flag on the right hand headlight, it does actually flash with the RS3 startup, so that's beautiful in itself. And the front grille, so since this car is a black color, usually the front grille, so this is always going to be black. So it is a front massive grille. I'm not sure, to be honest, with the front grille. I do prefer the 8V grille in my opinion. It just looks more aggressive. The honeycomb looks way more aggressive than this kind of shape. And then as you can see in the middle of the grille, there's no really suction, air suction to the intercooler. It's all blocked off. Not sure why they've done that. But yeah, man, that's so the 8V grille gets that on top. And then we got the beautiful rims. These rims, in my opinion, are better than the 8V rims. They just look more aggressive and more clean. Depends, the 8V comes with the blades and the rotors, so as we can see here, so those rims are beautiful. I do actually love those rims, but I still would prefer these rims, to be honest. We got the brake calipers, which are different. They're still very nice. Let me just get a side on view here. So as you can see, the brake calipers on this are different to the outgoing 8V. To be honest, I'm not sure which I prefer. I believe these have better performance than the outgoing 8V calipers. Also believe they are still 8-pot brakes. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so here's the side-on image. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just in my PJs recording this video in the rain. But yeah, man, I mean, this car is a beautiful car, hands down. To be honest, this is probably the worst angle of the car. It just looks a bit tacky. I don't know, the tail lights for me, they just don't sit right. They've got a little, like this outline here just doesn't sit right with me at all. I do prefer the 8V tail lights from this point on, but I mean, once again, Audi with their headlights and tail lights, they're the kings of headlights and tail lights. As you can see, once we start it up, it does another little funny dance. It hasn't done it this time because I've done it before. Let's see if we can get it. Nah, so anyways, they do a little funny dance. And as you can see, the rear, it's a beautiful rear end. The only thing which I don't like is this little grille section here. I'm not sure what to think of it. And yeah, once again, the exhaust tips, these are actually integrated into the bumper, so they've actually taken a step out of Mercedes book here, and they've integrated the rear tailpipes with the rear bar. Once again, I'm not a big fan of that. So in terms of exterior wise, which one is the better looking car, the 8V or the 8Y? To be honest, it all goes down to the opinion of the buyer. For me, well, it's hard to say, man. But to be honest, exterior wise, I'm going to give the front end to the 8Y and the rear end to the 8V. Just that's my opinion. Everyone may have a different take on that. But I mean, the 8V came out in 2017, and wow, the car doesn't look dated at all, man. So in terms of the engine, this is running a DNWC engine. The 8V comes in a, so the CZGB, that's the 2016 model. So that's got the iron cast block, and then that was a pre-facelift. And then you got the facelift 2017 and 18, which came with the Daza motor, or here down under we say Daza motor. Yeah, but that's, and then from 2019 to 20, they came out with the DNWA motor, which was for all the OPF emissions. So the changes in there, I believe, is the cylinder head and the downpipes all got emission sensors and whatnot, OPFs. And then for the 8Y, they came out with the revised version of the D&W motor. So this is a D&W C motor. To be honest, stock, it doesn't sound good at all. I mean, stock startup on the 8V, oh, you guys know, man. The stock startup on the 1718 Daza motor, it's a beautiful startup, man. It gets the pops and crackles when it's warm. This one, it's slightly muted. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. Look, I know once you tune it, they sound wicked, but we're talking stock. So yeah, that's a same DQ 500 box, same transfer case. The rear diff is different though. It's got a motor in each side of the diff to control the drift mode and whatnot. I think it's called torque rear differential mode on these cars. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's the rear diff's different. Tail shaft is different also. What else is different on these cars in terms of a drivetrain? Bearings are different. Yeah, pretty much what's the same is it's still got the same 2.5 litre 5-cylinder motor, but it's just a revised version. As I said, it's a D&WC. Yeah, man, that's like, in terms of performance, it doesn't really give out that much more power than the outgoing 8V, and I mean it should, in my opinion, because this car came out in 2021, where the 8V facelift came out in 17. So you've got like 4 to 5 years to actually make something. And these cars are still, the ECU just got unlocked not too long ago. To tune them, I think you got to send it down to Ireland or Scotland or one of those, but it's just a headache. Or if you wanted to tune them prior, you got to get a Cyvex, which alone is 10,000 AUD, or just, you know, it's ridiculous money you're paying for a tune. And then you got the downpipes, intercooler, inlet elbow, intake, all that stuff, injectors. I mean, right, that's why this car is stock, but let's see what happens, man. I don't know, guys. Should we end up tuning this car? I know Alex at Underground Performance has thrown me, he's a very good man. He's thrown me good offers. You know, he's wanting to tune this for me at the price he gets it for, which, man, I can't thank him enough for throwing me that offer. But at the moment, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with this car, keeping it, selling it. Just the reason being is I got a few properties that I want to put my money in and reduce the loan on those. You know, this is a depreciating asset at the end of the day, in comparison to a appreciating asset in the future. So yeah, I know it's a nice car, but I think I might have to sell it just to focus on what's best for business, eh? But then you can argue, is it really best for business? I mean, we can get some wicked content out of this, wicked numbers. You can be the first built motor, D&WC motor, 8Y motor in Australia. I don't know, guys. Leave your opinions down in the comments what we should do. But yeah, man. Exterior wise, like I said, I'm going to give it the front end to the 8Y, the rear end to the 8V. Now let's jump in the interior. All right, guys. So the interior is a bit dirty. Reason being is we just got this car out of the workshop. It is a repairable write-off. So if you're not from Australia, what that basically means is we repaired this car from auction. It was classified as a write-off. I don't know why it was a write-off. It was actually a left-hand side damage. As you can see, we painted the left-hand side. But yeah, man. So usually with the VRV cars, we sell them 20% cheaper rate. And there's a lot of confusion and like misinterpretation around VRV cars. People think, oh, once I sell it, you got to do the VRV inspection again. Nah, man. So what we do is we do the whole process, ready to be transferred in your name, no headaches. When you go to resell it, you don't have to do anything again. Just get a roadworthy, which is the same simple setup as any other car. So hopping into the interior, as we can see, we've got the red interior design package. So these air vents are red. It's kind of similar to the Urus spec with the air vents. Once again, you got the beautiful seats. As you can see, we've got the beautiful 8Y seats. Once again, yes, they look good. They look wicked with the diamond stitching pattern. In terms of comfortability, still prefer the 8V. Even though these do have the massage function, as you can see. It's a fully optioned car, minus the carbon ceramic brakes and the carbon package, but that is one of the options you get with the massage. And even though it does have the massage seats, I still prefer the 8V seats compared to these, even though the 8V are manual. Yes, you heard me right. Yeah, in terms of looks as well, look, and I'm selling like a few pairs of these, and I can literally tell you guys, oh nah, these are better. But I'm telling you guys the honest truth. I don't give a shit about sales, you know. End of the day, I'm gonna say my honest opinion. It's not all about money, you know. In terms of seats, we're gonna give it to the 8V. But in terms of infotainment and the upgrades, like the 8Y has killed it. Like, as you know, the 8V had the pop-up screen. I wasn't a big fan of that. Look, I know it was like less tacky, less technology. Alright guys, so now we're in the interior of the Audi RS3 8Y, and the first thing you guys notice is this round bus-shaped steering wheel. So straight off the bat, that's a no-go for me. I get it, it's Alcantara, full Alcantara, but give it a couple of months, man, this Alcantara will turn into rubber. And yeah, so the outgoing 8V had the round steering wheel airbag with a flat D bottom. I'm not sure why they've opted to go for a round steering wheel. Yeah, I think in Europe they come with the round airbag and the flat D. They get that option, but here I'm not sure why they don't. It's really weird. That's it. Once again, that's a no-go for me. And then as we can see here, we've got the virtual cockpit. As you can see, 3,000 Ks on the car. Once again, I'm not a huge fan of this virtual cockpit. Yes, you can change the setup. So as we go into here, we go into settings. And then where do we go next? I believe it's somewhere along the lines of display and brightness. You get your heads-up display, which you can adjust. So you get your RS Performance, your RS Sport, or the Runway. So for example, we can change to the RS Performance, and then it gives us like the kind of like the Urus kind of virtual cockpit. But once again, guys, now, as you guys know, the Audi RS3 8V virtual cockpit has the rainbow module with the round as you accelerate. And guys, that virtual cockpit for me, the 8V RS3 cockpit, is way better than this virtual cockpit in my opinion. Keep in mind, the 8V virtual cockpit came out in 2017. So that's almost 8 years. That is actually 8 years ago. And when we go back in time 8 years ago, the competitors for the RS3 were the CLA 45, the M3 F80, and when you go back and look at the virtual cockpits for those cars, they were bland, rubbish. Even the CLA 45, it wasn't a digital virtual cockpit, it was more of an analog virtual cockpit, and I guess some people do prefer the analog virtual cockpit, but not for me, you know. And like, guys, honestly, think back 8 years ago. What were you doing 8 years ago? Some of yous were in school, some of yous weren't even married, some of yous didn't even have kids, and that virtual cockpit was years above the game, years ahead of its time, and still to this day, it's still no one competes with it. I mean, yeah, you get the Mercs with the long dash and stuff, you know, with the lights, but still, functionality wise and compatibility wise, nothing compared to the AV cockpit. Yeah, it's got more ambient lighting and whatnot, and even the G80 pre-facelift, I mean, the virtual cockpit on that still doesn't compete with the AV. And then even the facelift G80, yeah, you get the long screen, I don't know what, but guys, that long screen, you sit in a Kia Sportage, it's got the exact same screen. So again, tacky. Nothing competes with the 8V virtual cockpit. It is still above its game and always will be, in my opinion. I much prefer that. And even like when you press the view mode, like, look at this, man. It's like they've just copy and pasted bits into it, and like, you know, haven't really paid any attention to it. So once again, steering wheel, we're going to go with the 8V. Virtual cockpit is the 8V. And even these are nice, man. I actually really like these. It's kind of like the Urus. And I know I keep referring to the Urus because Audi, Lamborghini basically bases all their like all their stuff that they don't really want to put too much attention, like this stuff, components, modules and whatnot. It's all based off the VAG group. And like I said, here's the ambient lighting. So once again, the ambient lighting on this car is, well, actually the AV doesn't even have ambient lighting, so the ambient lighting in this car is way better. And as I previously mentioned, so this is the actual infotainment system, and this infotainment system is very good in my opinion. It's way better than the 8V. You know, it's integrated into the dash nicely, slick. It doesn't pop out. So you go to car, You get many different type of options. Audi Drive Select, so as you can see, you can put it in drift mode through that. RS Performance, RS Individual, and it's even got efficiency mode, which the 8V RS didn't, so that's a good thing. And then, you know, with the seats, you got the massage functions and whatnot. And yeah, man, like, and once you go into lights and vision, you go background lighting. You know, you got a different variety to select from. You got around 30 colors to choose from. You got your surface and your contours. So as you can see, you got 30 colors to choose from. If it scrolls, there we go, which is very nice in my opinion. So once again, the MMI unit goes to the 8Y, and even the ambient lighting goes to the 8Y. And guys, this is one thing that I despise. I hate. Hate is a strong word, and I'm gonna use it. What is this shit? What is this? Come on. Are we sitting in an electric car or Audi RS? Come on. What is this? Come on, man. Now, as you know, in the AV, you got your gear shifter, the OG gear shifter. When you're driving a car, you want to feel the car. You want to feel it when you're shifting gears. You want to feel it when you put it into drive. What is this? Come on. Chuck it in the bin. Chuck it. Chuck it. Get it out of here. I don't want to see that. That is rubbish. I don't know why they've done that. This is one thing I hate about this car. I hate. Like, it's so tacky, so throw it in the bin. Anyways, let's leave that alone, because if I keep talking about that, I'm probably going to rip it off. As you can see, you get the reverse camera. And another thing, guys, I'm not sure why Audi do this. They never actually have 360 cams. Like, when you're paying 100,000 for a car, I don't know why it's an option. It should come as standard. And to be honest, even most 8Ys don't come with this, unless it's the 2023 models. They actually came with this. The 2022 models, it's a very, very rare find to find a reverse camera in. And so, as you can see, the car is slightly muted. We will put it in dynamic. So we're gonna restart it, put it in dynamic. So it's opened up. So we'll give it a rev. It's not gonna sound that good. As you can see, the rev limiter is hitting 4,000. Once again, no pops and crackles. So once again, when we're focused on the driver side of things, I prefer the 8V. The 8V is much better. The driver side things, the steering wheel, the virtual cockpit. But when you focus in the MMI infotainment system, and obviously the passenger side of you, yeah, the AY is obviously better. You get the ambient lighting, you get a nice integrated screen, you get many options. Once again, these are your AC variants, the drive select systems, and yeah, you get a nice little storage unit here, which is very handy. Yeah, so if you want to store some stuff, yeah, it's very nice and handy. You get a nice little glove box here, you get wireless charging here, beautiful. You get ambient light here, and here on the door cards. And yeah, man, in that terms, it's a very beautiful car in terms of ambient lighting and infotainment system. But once again, I do prefer the 8V cockpit. It's much better, much more useful. And yeah, that's it for the interior. So guys, now to answer the question we asked at the start of the video, which car is better, the 8V or the 8Y RS3? And to put it into simple terms, I would still choose the 8V RS3, which is the 2017 model. And the reason why I say that, you've got the Daza motor, it sounds better stock. I believe you can push more power out of it. And in terms, like in Australia, these cars, there was a short back order on them, so you to your weight, and the prices are a little bit inflated for the time being, like 100,000 for this, whilst you can get an 8V for 65. You got the same performance, you got the same comfortability. In terms of driving comfortability, this 8Y is better. But in terms of sitting comfortability, virtual cockpit for the driver, it's better, man. Look, this car's more of like a passenger, you know, you want to take your missus out on date night, yeah, sure, this car. But I mean, if you're out with the boys, you want to do some chap laps, nah, not chap laps. Like if you want to go around cruise, you know, the AV, man, it's the way to go. Sounds like just the way to go, man. You can't. The AV 2017, I mean, how long ago is that? You got 3 plus 5, 8 years ago. That car came out 8 years ago, man. Go back to 8 years. What were you doing 8 years ago? You were probably still in school. I was still in school. I mean, you know, most of you weren't married. Now you're married with kids. This car, let me switch up. Kept its shape. It's so modern. It's so beautiful. Wow, man. What a car it is. I love it. I love it. Anything, man, for this car. The 8V. The 8V levels ahead of its time. I mean, like, keep in mind, when the 8V came out, its competitors were the F3, M3, F80, C63S, you could say, because, you know, I was munching them. I know the RS5 is the C63 competitor, but you got the CLA 45, and during that time, it dominated its game. Move on to the 8Y, yeah? Now you got the BMW G80 S58 motor. I mean, that car is going to start breaking all different types of records once they start going hard on it. I mean, could you say the same for the DNWC motor? Not really. You can't really say that. That's why I'm going to give it to the 8V. During its time, it was the king. It was the king. Nothing came close to it. But then we moved to 2025, which is the current year. Could we really call the RS3 8Y the king? Not really, man. You got the S58 motors coming out. You got the M240i's now with the X-Drive. Audi, like, it's kind of not holding its ground anymore. You would still rather the 8V to go up against the S58s, man. And this is the Daza motor too. This has got the Daza motor. I mean, this car destroys anything. And then when you look at an S58, you know, you start to question it. Can it destroy it? But I mean, 2017 compared to the S58, 2022, the 5 years they had. I mean, the F80, nah, forget it, man. You're spinning all the way to third. Forget it. But then you get the X-Drive variants, and then now BMW are starting to catch up to Audi. And did Audi really do anything with the performance? No. They've literally not done anything. They've left it. They've decided to go with the Merc route. Make it more like techie. Make it more like, you know, focus on more of like that the A to B driver rather than, you know, the street racer type. You know, the AV is a driver's car. This is more like, you know, you want to be a passenger princess. You want to drive it to the city, look good. You know, the performance is still there, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking, they had so much time to perfect the Daza motor to make it the best variant they could have. And I mean, did they really do that? No. So that's why, if you ask yourself, is it worth upgrading to the 8Y? Simple answer is no. Stick with the 8V. It's much better in my opinion. Look, if you want to buy this, go ahead and buy it, but this is my review. You know, if you want to do your review, you can do your review. And you know, keyboard warriors, yeah, come in the comments. You know, I'm ready for you, man. I've been dealing with that shit all, you know. You know, I deal with Facebook market time wasters, so YouTube comments are nothing to me, you know. But yeah, like I said, this is the RS3. Like, do you guys really want to see the first the RS3 20 years ago? I mean, this here was the RS3 back in the day. You know, the four-wheel drive Evo MR8. This was literally the RS3 of back in the day. I mean, this is literally the RS3 from the 2000s era. We got the not the Inkeys, what are these? The Vaux CE28s on it with the Brembo calipers. I mean, carbon kit all round. This literally was the RS3 of back in the day. You know, Quattro. Look at it, man. This car, you know, when you used to go to Kmart and you used to buy those little $2 toy cars, I promise you, this was what you would get. This was literally what you would get. You know, with the spoiler, this cute little car. Look at that, man. It's pouring down rain. You know, lucky we done the vids, you know, for the car. But yeah, man. If you guys would like to see more car reviews, I mean, C63, nah, forget it, bro. We're not doing C63s. Yeah, even, you know, S58 G80s, I don't want to review it. I'm only going to review Audis. If you want to see more Audi reviews, let me know. We've got the TTRS, Daza motor. It's got the same motor as the AV RS3 1718. And then, yeah, this is the 8Y